Despite Nicole Kidman's current happily ever after with Keith Urban, her love life has not always been a bed of roses. Although their tumultuous divorce dominated tabloid headlines in the 90s and 2000s, it's easy to overlook the 11 years she spent married to Tom Cruise. Even though a lot of time has gone by, reading about how their romance ended is still entertaining, and new details are popping out all the time. Nicole Kidman finally spoke up about her actions during her terrible divorce from Tom Cruise, and it backs up our suspicions. While her Hollywood career was soaring to unprecedented heights, Kidman kept her private life out of the spotlight. Her marriage to Tom Cruise may have seemed idyllic from the outside, but she kept her focus on her acting career in the middle of Hollywood's glitter and glamour. Hits like To Die For, 1995, and Practical Magic, 1998, kept Kidman in the spotlight. Their partnership in Stanley Kubrick's 1999 picture Eyes Wide Shut solidified their position as a dominant duo in Hollywood. But fissures were starting to appear under the surface. Even though they were the Hollywood A-listers for more than a decade, Kidman and Cruise shocked everyone in 2001 when they announced their divorce. Their apparently indestructible relationship broke, and everyone was left to wonder what happened. Speculation abounds, with whispers of adultery and other wrongdoing making the rounds. Among these claims, one stood out: that Cruise's Scientology membership was a major factor in their breakup. It is said that Cruise's views and lifestyle choices were impacted by Scientology, a contentious religious sect. Scientology encourages its adherents to embrace life as it is, warts and all. Curious minds wanted to know how Cruise's public support of Scientology would affect his marriage to Kidman, and they got their answer. Even though Cruise was very vocal about his religion and all its benefits, speculation continued that his darker sides may have had a role in the breakup of his relationship with Kidman. Kidman chose solitude under the public scrutiny, remaining tight-lipped about the circumstances despite the theories surrounding the end of their marriage. Nevertheless, the story of Scientology's involvement in their split persisted, further complicating the intricate dynamics of their relationship. The news of the split of the much-loved Hollywood couple, who had been together for more than 10 years, shocked and saddened the whole globe. Despite the sadness, many were moved by Nicole Kidman's poise and compassion during the divorce process. Kidman maintained an air of dignity during the months-long divorce process. Still, the picture of her leaping up and down, taken the second she left her lawyer's office, became legendary as a representation of her liberation. During their marriage, Kidman was the target of criticism for being shorter than Tom Cruise, a common theme in the media and among fans. Still, she was cool under pressure. Responding to David Letterman's lighthearted question about her favorite part of being single, Kidman sarcastically said, "I can wear heels now," displaying her endearing and witty embrace of her newfound freedom. Kidman chose to concentrate on the good elements of her life after her divorce rather than discuss the details of her divorce, which she handled with dignity despite the difficulties she endured. By treating Cruise with dignity and avoiding accusations, she showed that she had no animosity towards him. While Kidman did admit that certain parts of her life were tragic, she blamed her own impetuousness as a young woman for the breakdown of her marriage. Kidman recalled the haste with which she and Cruise had tied the knot, reflecting on the brief duration of her first marriage. Even though she was grieving, she took comfort in the love she had for her children, Connor and Bella, whom she saw as the greatest gifts from her marriage to Cruise. Kidman confronted harsh facts that were hard to reconcile and struggled with profound melancholy about particular parts of her life among the hardships and anguish she endured. Her children, Isabella and Connor, were a cause of intense emotional distress due to the complicated relationships in their lives. The deep pain that Kidman suffered while her two children stayed with Cruise in the Scientology church was evident despite her pleasant and happy public persona. They chose to put emotional space between themselves and her, which created an unbearable emptiness and led to allegations that Kidman was supposedly estranged from her children, whom she adored. Kidman opted to keep silent in the face of the circulating rumors in order to save her family's privacy from the prying eyes of the public. Kidman found comfort and healing in a new relationship while going through the storm of her divorce from Tom Cruise. Kidman was determined to keep her private life out of the public eye, so she sealed the deal on her budding affair with Keith Urban. Their covert romance flourished in private, away from the curious gaze of the press. The public became aware of Kidman and Urban's romance in 2006 when she revealed her engagement to Urban. Notable guests for the star-studded Australian ceremony included Russell Crowe, Hugh Jackman, and Naomi Watts, who is friends with Kidman, in addition to fans and industry insiders who were enthralled by the news of their upcoming weddings. Despite the fact that Nicole Kidman's life started to look up after the storm of her divorce from Tom Cruise and the rumored separation from her children, new problems quickly arose, putting a damper on her pleasure. Revelries that Keith Urban was undergoing treatment for his alcoholism shocked the public shortly after their marriage. This revelation completely upended their relationship and added another hurdle for Kidman to conquer on her path to self-actualization. In the face of insurmountable odds, Kidman was there for Urban, providing steadfast encouragement as he began the long road to recovery. As a unit, they became closer as they weathered this storm. In the middle of her own personal struggles, Kidman dealt with the very intimate issue of attempting to produce a child. She wanted to have more children so badly, but being a mom was a roller coaster of ups and downs. Kidman spoke out about the heartache of her infertility battle, including the loss of a child when she was still married to Tom Cruise. After Kidman and Cruise's untimely miscarriage threw a dark cloud over their marriage, they sought for other ways to have parents. They chose to adopt Isabella and Connor after this devastating loss so they could provide a caring home to children who needed it. Kidman talked candidly on her desire to become a mother and the overwhelming grief she felt after their miscarriage, reflecting on the tragic event and highlighting the emotional journey she had on the path to starting a family. Fans and journalists alike were moved by Nicole Kidman's unfaltering resolve and bravery as she navigated the emotional ups and downs of becoming a mother. The more openly she discussed her battles with infertility, Kidman spoke out to the public about her harrowing journey to motherhood, revealing the immense obstacles she had to overcome. Fans who had followed Kidman's rocky journey to motherhood were overjoyed and celebrated the birth of her first biological child. The arrival of her baby was a ray of hope after she had suffered through a string of devastating losses, including an ectopic pregnancy and many miscarriages. Kidman brought deep significance and appreciation to her new position as a mother by her honest acknowledgement of the difficult road she had gone through to conceive, which underlined the grandeur of the miracle that had blessed her life. The path to motherhood for Kidman was about more than just overcoming obstacles. It was also about embracing the many kinds of love and family that made her life better. Keith Urban and their daughter, as well as the strong relationship she had with her husband, provided her with enormous pleasure and satisfaction after the devastating separation with her first family. As a mother, Kidman felt an immense feeling of connection and belonging that went beyond whatever biological bonds she may have had with her children. Kidman celebrated the variety of her motherhood journey as she surrogate-bearingly brought her second baby, Faith Margaret, into the world. Numerous roads, each with its own set of ups and downs, led Nicole Kidman to motherhood. Kidman devoted herself wholeheartedly to the complexities of motherhood, and her mixed family mirrored the varied fabric of contemporary parenting. Her 4 children, who are living proof of her unwavering devotion and love, fulfilled her lifelong desire to become a mother. The intricate relationships of Kidman's family were clear as she skillfully maneuvered between her past and present. Kidman treasured every chance to strengthen the link with her 2 adopted children, Connor and Isabella. Despite the physical gap between them and their father, Tom Cruise, the love that Kidman had for her children had no bounds, regardless of where they lived or the difficulties they faced. When Nicole Kidman's divorce from Tom Cruise became public knowledge, she sought comfort and security in her new relationship with Keith Urban. Kidman savored the peaceful moments of home happiness that interspersed their new chapter of life together with her spouse. Amid the chaos of Hollywood rumors and conjecture, Kidman chose to concentrate on her job and creative pursuits, in contrast to Cruise's public pursuit of a relationship with Katie Holmes. Kidman continued to exude an air of elegance and composure by adamantly avoiding the sensationalism that surrounded her previous partnerships. Rather, she devoted herself fully to her art, wowing both audiences and reviewers with her riveting performances. From her depiction of Princess Grace Kelly in Grace of Monaco to her turn as the indomitable Big Mama Lioness in Paddington, Kidman's brilliance kept brightening the silver screen. Many consider Nicole Kidman's 2016 film Lion, in which she gave her most captivating performance to date, to be a watershed point in her impressive career. Based on her own experiences as a mother to adopted children, Kidman's character goes on an adoption journey in this moving drama. In an interview with Town & Country magazine, Kidman discussed the role's deep meaning, saying that it was an emotional tribute to her own children. She spoke on her steadfast determination to love and support her children no matter what, emphasizing the importance of unconditional love. Kidman shocked fans by stepping into television, marking a dramatic change in her professional trajectory, despite her well-established stature as a Hollywood light. Joining the cast of HBO's highly acclaimed series Big Little Lies brought about a great deal of praise and admiration. The show won a slew of prizes and honors because to its captivating plot and outstanding acting. Kidman's flexibility as an actress was on full display in her move from Hollywood to television, which garnered her accolades from critics and fans. Not only did her performance in Big Little Lies win her a Golden Globe and an Emmy, but it also demonstrated her versatility as an actress. On the other hand, her acceptance speech at the Emmys caused some fans to feel strongly. Nicole Kidman gave a moving acceptance speech as she collected her Emmy Award, in which she thanked her family and friends for being there for her throughout her time in show business. She thanked her large creative family, who were there for her during the good times and the bad, with sincere sincerity. As Kidman spoke warmly about her husband Keith, who was instrumental in fostering her artistic pursuits, and her two kids, Sunday and Faith, the audience felt a profound connection to her sentiments. Still, her older children, Isabella and Connor, were noticeably absent from the enthusiastic reception that accompanied her speech. Their absence from the sincere recognition caused rumors to circulate and attracted a lot of interest from both the public and the media. Complex family dynamics were brought to light by the subsequent conversation about Kidman's connection with her adoptive children. Those closest to Kidman understood the complex realities of her predicament, even if others saw her remarks as an indication of partiality for her biological children. It wasn't a sign of less love or affection. Rather, it was a question of personal pathways and choices. Kidman maintained her firm position in the face of the criticism, stressing her unwavering love for each of her children regardless of the misunderstandings that arose. In the middle of her defining humility and thankfulness, she re-emphasized the critical role of love and support as parents. Finally, among all the Hollywood glamour, Nicole Kidman's thankfulness and modesty shined through. She maintained her humility and gratitude for those who had an impact on her life, even after she had achieved great success. Kidman thanked the men who had a significant impact on her life in an open and honest interview she gave to Entertainment Tonight in May 2019. Emphasizing the importance of honesty and simplicity, she cherished her spouse as the most remarkable companion in life. Kidman also reminisced on her father's enormous influence, highlighting how lucky she was to have had such an extraordinary father figure in her life. Kidman was still vulnerable to the whims of nature, despite her celebrity and fortune. When the Australian bushfires of 2020 threatened her house and the neighboring regions, she had a terrifying experience. In spite of her status as one of the wealthiest celebrities in the world, Kidman had to face the harsh truth of Mother Nature's fury. She reassured worried admirers by telling Extra that their house had narrowly avoided destruction in the horrific fire that devastated the countryside, but that they had escaped unharmed. Kidman reflected on her love life and recalled the public's fascination in her brief affair with Tom Cruise. Their on-screen chemistry in 1990's Days of Thunder eventually grew into a real-life relationship, and so began their love story. In the middle of their wildest dreams, they said, "I do," and began a marriage that would last for more than 10 years. Recognizing the quickness with which they had tied the knot, Kidman spoke frankly about her thoughts about their nuptials. She could see the development and maturity that came with their shared experiences, even if their early years together were marked by a carefree youth. Surprisingly, this year, admirers of Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, a power couple in Hollywood, got a peek inside their private life. The news broke when Isabella, also known as Bella, the daughter of Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, posted an unusual selfie on Instagram. As an artist and photographer, Bella usually prefers to keep a low profile, so her social media post will likely pique the interest of admirers who are curious about the relationships inside the family. The caption of Bella's photo subtly hinted at the enchantment of gold, which ignited curiosity and guesswork among fans yearning for glimpses into the mysterious realm of famous families. From a historical perspective, the 1999 professional partnership between Kidman and Cruise in Stanley Kubrick's controversial thriller Eyes Wide Shut surprised many. Their on-screen connection carried over into real life, and they received rave reviews for their roles despite early doubts. Despite their on-screen chemistry, the couple's split was announced in early 2001 with a solemn tone, leaving fans and the press bewildered. Their split's causes are unknown, but Kidman's sincere feelings for Cruise reveal how much she still cares for her ex-husband. Kidman spoke frankly about her love for Cruise in an interview with CBS News, highlighting his importance to her beyond his fame. Years later, further details about the mental roller coaster Kidman went on at that period are coming to light. Recently, she revealed more of her tale, including a moving incident that exemplified her strength in the face of adversity. It was a mixed bag for Kidman when she won an Oscar in 2003 for her stunning performance as Virginia Woolf in The Hours. But the win was overshadowed by the aftershocks of her broken marriage to Cruise. In addition to being a very personal journey, their marriage had also brought 2 children into their life, creating a joint family. Even though they had a strong relationship before, it broke down due to their incompatible views, and now Kidman has to deal with the fallout as the world watches. Their split came at the worst possible time, just as Kidman's career was about to reach its peak. Despite being on the verge of professional greatness and receiving an Academy Award nomination, she struggled with inner torment. Pictured in an unscripted sequence from Dave Karger's 50 Oscar Nights, Kidman describes the moving moments after her Oscar victory. She took comfort in the simplicity of a takeaway dinner shared with her family on the floor of the Beverly Hills Hotel, rather than basking in the glitter of Hollywood's most illustrious evening. Amidst the mayhem of her private life, Kidman had a moving revelation that brought her to a point of deep understanding. The desire for a love that might last beyond the transient euphoria of celebrity and praise became clear to her as she devoured her dinner. In her quest to find love and happiness again, Kidman displayed poise and resolve. Her love for Keith Urban, which she discovered 5 years after her divorce from Cruise, has endured the test of time and hardships. As she commemorates 17 years of being married to Urban, Kidman's life serves as an example of perseverance and the everlasting strength of love. A tribute to Kidman's resiliency in the midst of hardship, they have created a family full of love and laughter together. Confirmation of Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban's marriage by Kidman highlights the unbreakable bond between the couple. The duo has been a symbol of optimism in Hollywood since their 2006 wedding, and their loving relationship has won the hearts of admirers all across the globe. Their 2 kids, Sunday Rose and Faith Margaret, represent the strength of their bond as a couple and the importance they place on family. They met by chance, and Urban remembers the exact moment when Kidman entered his life well. It was the beginning of their love affair. Urban said how Kidman made an unforgettable impact on him at their first encounter, describing her as having an otherworldly aura and seemingly gliding across the room. Urban, despite his fears, got up the guts to introduce himself, which set the scenario for an unexpected relationship. Urban has had such a significant influence on Kidman's life that she has freely described him as the love of her life. As she celebrated her 38th birthday, Kidman thought back on the touching moment when Urban stood outside her New York doorstep with gardenias at 5 in the morning, making a sincere gesture. It was at that same time that she confessed her desire to marry Urban, a clear indication of how deeply they were connected. But there were obstacles on Kidman's path to an enduring relationship with Urban. Before they were married, Kidman handled the challenges of her marriage to Tom Cruise, which ended in 2001. As a result of her tenacity and faith in love, Kidman was able to overcome her struggles and find happiness with Urban. A look at the realities of Hollywood relationships is shown by Nicole Kidman's open admission of her marriage to Tom Cruise and Keith Urban. Love is a journey, not a destination, and it's okay to fall short of perfection. Kidman shows us this by discussing their priorities and the difficulties they've faced.